The Slaton sisters of 1000, LB SISTR's fame have captivated audiences for years, their raw vulnerability and honest struggles striking a chord with viewers around the world. But nothing could have prepared fans, or even their own family, for the emotional journey that came with Tammy Slaton's dramatic transformation following her long-awaited skin removal surgery. And no one has been more vocal about the changes than her younger sister, Amy Slaton, whose heartfelt reactions have been both emotional and revealing. In a recent episode filled with heartfelt confessions, joy, and some tears, Amy couldn't help but reflect on just how far her sister had come. "The differences are so obvious," she exclaimed, her eyes welling with pride and amazement. But Amy's reaction wasn't just about the physical changes. It was about everything the transformation represented: survival, rebirth, and a hope she feared might never come. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's explore the emotional and physical milestones of Tammy's journey through the eyes of the person who's known her longest, Amy Slaton. A journey years in the making. From the very beginning of 1000, LB SISTRs, viewers saw the deeply interconnected relationship between Tammy and Amy. Born and raised in rural Kentucky, the sisters have always leaned on each other, sometimes to their detriment. They were bound not just by sisterhood, but by shared trauma, a toxic food environment, and cycles of emotional eating that shaped their early adulthood. Tammy, the older sister, struggled more significantly with mobility, addiction, and emotional health, culminating in multiple hospital visits, medical interventions, and a near-death experience that left the entire family shaken. For years, Amy feared that her sister wouldn't survive. "I remember just a couple of years ago," Amy said during a recent confessional, "I didn't think she'd be here today. I thought I'd lose her. There were nights I stayed up, wondering if I'd get that call." The fear was real, and it wasn't just a story for reality TV. Tammy's health reached a critical tipping point in 2021 when she was rushed to the hospital and placed in a medically induced coma after a carbon dioxide poisoning scare. That terrifying moment sparked a renewed sense of urgency for Tammy, for her family, and especially for Amy. "I always knew she had it in her." Tammy's decision to commit to bariatric surgery was monumental. It meant changing nearly everything about her life: her diet, her environment, her habits, and perhaps most difficult of all, her mindset. For Amy, watching her sister go through those early steps of recovery was both inspiring and nerve-wracking. "I always knew she had it in her," Amy shared. "Even when Tammy was at her worst, I knew deep down she didn't want to live like that. She just didn't know how to change it. And I didn't always know how to help her. Sometimes I helped too much, sometimes I backed away." Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. As someone who underwent her own weight loss surgery earlier in the show's run, Amy was both a guide and a cautionary tale. Her own journey post-surgery was filled with its own hurdles, especially as she became a mother to two young boys, Gage and Glenn. She struggled to balance the demands of motherhood, her marriage, which eventually ended, and her health. But even with her own battles, Amy remained a constant presence in Tammy's life. She kept showing up, Tammy said in a behind-the-scenes clip. "Even when I didn't want her there. Even when I was being the worst version of myself." The big reveal, Amy's first look after surgery. Tammy's skin removal surgery was one of the most anticipated moments in the show's history. After losing over 400 pounds following her bariatric surgery and extensive rehab, the excess skin had become not just a cosmetic concern, but a physical burden, causing back pain, rashes, and self-esteem issues. On the day of the big reveal, Amy was invited to see Tammy's transformation up close for the first time. As she stepped into her sister's room and saw her standing, slimmer and glowing with confidence, Amy's reaction was visceral. "Oh my God, Tammy," she gasped, her hands covering her mouth. "You look like a whole new person. The differences are so obvious: your face, your arms, your posture, even your eyes. You look happy." It was a moment of pure emotion. The sisters hugged, both crying, overwhelmed by how far they had come. It's like looking at a stranger and still knowing it's your sister, Amy later confessed. She's still Tammy, but she's not trapped anymore. That skin was like a prison for her. Emotional healing alongside physical change. While the surgery was a physical milestone, both sisters acknowledged that the emotional journey was just as significant. Tammy had long struggled with depression, anxiety, and low self-worth. She often used humor as a shield and food as a crutch. Now, with a new body came a new sense of self. She walks different, Amy noted. And I don't just mean physically. She carries herself different. It's like she finally believes she's worth saving. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tammy herself admitted that shedding the skin was like shedding decades of self-hatred. Every time I looked in the mirror before, I saw everything I hated about myself. Now, I see someone who fought like hell to live. For Amy, it's been a process of getting to know this new version of her sister and letting go of some of the resentment that built up over years of caretaking, worry, and emotional burnout. There were times I was angry at her, Amy confessed. I won't lie. I was mad that she didn't seem to care, that she was giving up. But now I realize she was fighting demons I didn't understand. The family dynamic shifts. Tammy's transformation hasn't just affected her relationship with Amy, it's reshaped the entire family dynamic. Where once she was the one who needed the most help, Tammy is now stepping into more independence and responsibility. She's driving again, taking charge of her meals, and even planning future career opportunities, including motivational speaking. For Amy, the shift has been bittersweet. I was the strong one for so long, she said. Now it's like, we're equals again. That's a weird thing to adjust to. But it's also the best feeling. Tammy's newfound confidence has also helped repair relationships that had frayed over time, including those with other siblings, like Chris and Misty, who were at times skeptical of Tammy's commitment to change. Amy always had my back, even when others gave up, Tammy said. But now I feel like I can finally be the sister she deserves too. Public reactions. Fans celebrate Amy and Tammy's bond. After the reveal aired, fans took to social media to express their admiration for both Tammy's transformation and Amy's touching reaction. Amy crying and hugging Tammy was the most real moment I've seen on TV in years, one fan tweeted. You can see how much they love each other. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The way Amy said, the differences are so obvious with tears in her eyes broke me, another wrote. It's not just about weight. It's about freedom. Thousands of viewers echoed similar sentiments, praising Amy for being a loyal sister through thick and thin, and applauding Tammy for her resilience and newfound joy. What's next for the Slaton sisters? Now that Tammy has undergone her life-altering skin removal surgery, the question on everyone's mind is, what comes next? Tammy has hinted at writing a memoir, something Amy has encouraged her to pursue. People need to hear her story, Amy said. She's proof that it's never too late. Meanwhile, Amy herself is focusing on her post-divorce life, raising her sons, and possibly undergoing a second round of surgery to help with loose skin and maintaining her weight loss. We're both in new chapters, Amy said. It's scary, but it's also exciting. For the first time in a long time, I feel like we're writing our own stories, not letting the past define us. Final reflections. A sister's love, unbreakable. Tammy and Amy's story is one of survival, not just in the physical sense, but emotionally and spiritually. Through addiction, medical scares, heartbreak, and public scrutiny, their bond has remained a constant. Amy's reaction to Tammy's transformation encapsulated that beautifully. It wasn't about looks. It wasn't about numbers on a scale. It was about witnessing someone she loves escape a life-threatening situation and blossom into someone stronger, happier, and free. When I said, the differences are so obvious, Amy explained, I wasn't just talking about her body. I was talking about her smile. The way she laughs now. The way she's finally living. Closing thoughts. As 1000, LB Sisters continues to evolve, the Slaton sisters remain at the heart of the show's enduring appeal. They're flawed, fierce, funny, and above all else, real. And as Tammy steps into this new version of herself, it's clear she's not walking alone. Amy is right there beside her, cheering her on with pride and love. Because through every setback, every surgery, every tear and triumph, one thing remains true: their sisterhood is unbreakable. And now, more than ever, it's thriving. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.